I have no, I mean, I can give the same update I did last month. Chuck's Garage, I've heard there's no movement except he consolidated. So if you go, sorry, this is like sort of annoying. If you go to the Rite Aid and then you look behind the bank towards the bridge, there's actually what looks like an old dirt road that many people remember as an old dirt road back there. And there was a permit that came through for the guy who bought Chuck's Garage, consolidating a parcel. And I couldn't find it on the map. There are these things called orphan parcels. And like, so I think what he did was he consolidated this sliver of the former road to the site because he plans, if he moves forward, to either build a retaining wall further back like Rite Aid does, or not, and he would still need like some extra space in there. That's the only permit I've seen for Chuck's Garage. I haven't talked to those guys in like a month and a half personally, but I'm happy to reach out. I'm just frankly sort of dreading them starting. Perfect. Just not because I'm opposed personally to the project, because I know that it's going to be impactful to this neighborhood and a lot of people are unhappy. For 3515, I'm more concerned about that one. That's the property just below the library. He got a permit from the city, which means that they are able to start construction. And then they updated the permit with like slightly smaller height, I think. My concern, actually for both of them, but mostly for 3515, is that it's overwhelmingly studios and very small one-bedrooms. And the gentleman who I understand has owned it, I haven't spoken to him personally, is someone who actually has another project in the neighborhood that we discussed a great deal, the Green Thumb on Indian Queen Lane, and like that didn't go very well, and he wasn't very happy, and he remains unhappy, is my understanding. So it's sort of like, it's not great that he has the green light for this like project right next to the library in the heart of the neighborhood, and then he would say, whether you oppose it or not, and he's unhappy. So my personal view is like we should try to make that into like lemonade out of lemons, but there are people who obviously like want to lie down in front of the bulldozers also. But he has a building permit. So as far as I'm aware, unless like the councilman and other people really want to get very belligerent about it, it'd be very difficult and arguably, you know, we would have grounds to do a lot of things if we were to try to prevent him from implementing his building permit. Like he's through all this zoning stuff, very intentionally. So, and in retrospect, perhaps it's because of Philly U and Jefferson, like I don't, you know, he bought the property. No, the last meeting we were here, he got the permit, and that gentleman was talking to the Texaco owner, and the Texaco owner apparently didn't even know about the permit. It's sort of confusing. Right. So you can get zoning, but I didn't know that you could get a building permit in absentia. So the building owner was sitting in the back being like, what? He got a permit? But he did get a building permit. We got to get all the permits. And anyone here, by the way, can sign up for the permits. So.
Do you know how many units? I know you said
it's like 52, something like that.
Where Matt's garage is?
He can do it without parking. He's actually not allowed to do parking unless he goes around the back. Yes, it has commercial. I mean, I think like something that this neighborhood needs to do, and it's not going to be when I'm doing this, frankly, is that the neighborhood needs to like address, like if people don't want if people don't want mixed use, they're auto stores, right? So it's like at some point that business model is going to change. Like obviously 2 of the 3 have closed, but at the same time, people don't want that stuff on Midvale. You need to change the zoning. It's very permissive zoning that's intentionally pedestrian friendly, commercial on the ground floor, and it makes it hard to do parking affordably because a lot of people put the parking either underground or you have to build an embankment. And I think like, you know, that's the conversation to have if that's what people are really opposed to. But when the zoning was done, a number of people here were at the table, and my recollection was people were most concerned about St. Bridget's Church parking lot and 2 other parking lots that are essentially city-owned and are free neighborhood parking, and people were like, that was the focus. This was like in 2011, 2012, I mean. But like people were not talking about Midvale Avenue and recognizing that these were actually large parcels with very permissive zoning.
The basic problem is that the idea of putting X number of units, whether 35 or 50, commercial and non-commercial, and zero parking is ludicrous. You know, it's a degradation of the community. Unfortunately, the zoning law allows them to do that. And very little we can do about it. Unless somebody wants to round up $500,000 into a legal case.
When you say for the property below the library, the developer has a permit for this project but doesn't actually own the property? Is
That's what like came out of this, I'll follow up because
Does
it
it
was,
just seem like pointless?
We're not clear on that. Can you give them a Josh if you don't know the property? Can I apply for a permit?
here's the weird thing, I think there was some miscommunication issues. It's like, this is on video and stuff, so I just don't, but like, there were some miscommunication issues because the permit is in the Texaco land ownership's name, it's not in the developer's
They put
name.
it whenever it's an OPA, the permit, whose name isn't necessarily the person that's actually pulled the permit, so.
So you're saying you can get a permit in absentia, you think?
No.
You're saying you cannot?
No, I don't think you can.
Somebody could come up and
I'm pretty
say
sure you
that
can.
one building permit for my house.
Well, you can do that for zoning, so I'll try to get an answer and put it on
We're
next
trying to
week.
get clarity on that.
Just out of curiosity, since they were both gas stations at one time, are there tanks? Are there tanks still underground?
I don't know about 3515, Chuck's Garage, yes, and Chuck's Garage also has an underground stream that they found. And there's a lot of under
So
subsurface
does
stuff.
that have any impact on what actually is there? Do they have to
Well,
use it?
it's
Because
The building can remedy anything that's wrong with the property, technically. It's costly, but it could be the worst degradation of the soil in the world that can be taken care of, so we keep some play there. They don't spend money.
And also, I have a question, you were talking about that road that went behind the bank? I don't ever remember a road back there, but I do remember a road above where those apartments are. Is that the road you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about if you go to the Rite Aid and then like stand on the steep part right by the door, like you really want to buy that Purell and they're out. And then and you look towards the bank, there's this flat area that goes towards the bridge. And I don't remember it growing up, but I know there used to be like a paper road back there. Not up on the top, like low down, right behind the bank.
It's like behind the movie theater. You often get used to
Well, behind the movie theater, yes.
get around it.
Mike?
Actually, Bobby kind of pretty much asked my question about the tanks underground, whether, but do they have to actually do some environmental testing on the property right next to the library before they can do anything?
So if he,
Got to do core samples.
I don't know the answer. I mean, he got his building permit, so if the city was going to require him to do the testing,
It's like they did with the-
supposedly should have done
They
it.
done that.
I don't know.
We can check with Al Ryan on that.
Yeah,
It's a valid question. If there's something unsafe there, the owner has to remedy it. It shouldn't be a question of judgment. The soil's clean or it's not.